The St. Andrew's African Methodist Episcopal Church congregants dedicated the service to the school-going children against the backdrop of the slight improvement observed in the 2023 results. To keep on this trajectory, there is also a need for a positive community impact, including from faith-based leaders, youth leaders, and the parents. This, they say, ought to be embedded in the commandments of God in various biblical scriptures.
Now the scripture this morning wants to teach us that we must do the right thing in whatever circumstance that we are doing, because we are doing it to the glory of God and not to man. Since there is a reward that we will receive from the Lord if you do your best in all circumstances.
I remember quite vividly the transition from primary school was challenging on all fronts, social and academic. The social dynamic of high school is an entirely different ball game. There are a whole new set of pressures and expectations that will hit you.
The National Youth Council's executive chairperson challenged the schoolgoers to conduct themselves in a manner that exudes discipline in their daily lives. Sharonis Bush motivated the learners to cement discipline by returning to the church and get involved in the activities which enhances them spiritually.
Let us attend church on Sundays. Let us go to our youth meetings on Fridays. When there's church fundraising activities, let us be us who is at the braai stand to go and braai and fundraise for our churches. Let us become young leaders that volunteer for our church, so that we ensure that when there's a church meeting, we are the runners that will make sure there's water. We will make sure that the fans are switched on, because it is our church. So really, young people, I want to encourage you to say that we must not see church as a boring place. Don't think that it's just for the old people. We have plans. We want to become pilots one day. We want to become engineers one day. We want to become lawyers one day. We want to become mathematicians and statisticians one day. But God is the author of our life. He knows our assignment, and only He knows that once our assignment is fulfilled, we have lived a purposeful life.
The type of content on social media available to school children is another matter, which the youth leader says should be monitored in a bid to keep them focused and guard against corrupt morals. As a parent herself, Bush says although it is not always easy for parents to keep an eagle's eye on information children consume online, parents cannot rest on their laurels in an increased digitalized world.
In a world where we find ourselves more online than offline, in a world where families don't speak to each other anymore because we are all online, you'll find that at a dinner table, kids are WhatsApping, kids are on Instagram, kids are on Twitter, kids are on TikTok. Families don't speak at the dinner table anymore because of how fast the world has evolved. But it is values that we are taught at home that we must keep as we grow and as we change with the world. Because
the Khomasdal-based St. Andrew's African Methodist Episcopal Church is the latest to hold a back-to-school service, with the hope to amplify the role of churches in the calls for continuous advancement of the education sector. Blanche Goreses in Windhoek.